गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मैया यमुना मैया की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। पतित पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकानाथ की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 27, Understanding Material Nature, Text 23. Prakṛtiḥ puruṣasyeha dahyamānā ahar-niśam tiro-bhavitrī śanakair agner yonir ivāraṇiḥ prakṛtiḥ puruṣasyeha dahyamānā ahar-niśam tiro-bhavitrī śanakair agner yonir ivāraṇiḥ prakṛtiḥ puruṣasyeha dahyamānā ahar-niśam tiro-bhavitrī śanakair agner yonir ivāraṇiḥ prakṛtiḥ puruṣasyeha dahyamānā ahar-niśam tiro-bhavitrī śanakair agner yonir ivāraṇiḥ prakṛtiḥ puruṣasyeha dahyamānā ahar-niśam tiro-bhavitrī śanakair agner yonir ivāraṇiḥ prakṛtiḥ puruṣasyeha dahyamānā ahar-niśam tiro-bhavitrī śanakair agner yonir ivāraṇiḥ prakṛtiḥ puruṣasyeha dahyamānā ahar-niśam tiro-bhavitrī śanakair agner yonir ivāraṇiḥ. Vaishnavis. prakṛtiḥ puruṣasyeha dahyamānā ahar-niśam tiro-bhavitrī śanakair agner yonir ivāraṇiḥ prakṛtiḥ puruṣasyeha dahyamānā ahar-niśam tiro-bhavitrī śanakair agner yonir ivāraṇiḥ prakṛtiḥ. The influence of material nature. Puruṣasya, of the living entity. Iha, here. Dahyamānā, being consumed. Tu, but. Ahar-niśam, day and night. Tiraḥ-bhavitrī, disappearing. śanakaiḥ, gradually. agneḥ, of fire. yoniḥ, the cause of appearance. Iva, as. araṇiḥ, wood sticks. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. The influence of material nature has covered the living entity, and thus it is as if the living entity were always in a blazing fire. But by the process of seriously discharging devotional service, this influence can be removed, just as wooden sticks which cause a fire are themselves consumed by it. Purport. Fire is conserved in wooden sticks, and when circumstances are favorable, the fire is ignited. But the wooden sticks, which are the cause of the fire, are also consumed by the fire if it is properly dealt with. Similarly, the living entity's conditional life of material existence is due to his desire to lord it over material nature, and due to his envy of the Supreme Lord. Thus, his main diseases are that he wants to be one with the Supreme Lord, or he wants to become the lord of material nature. The karmīs try to utilize the resources of material nature and thus become its lord and enjoy sense gratification. And the jñānīs, the salvationists, who have become frustrated in enjoying the material resources, want to become one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead or merge into impersonal effulgence. These two diseases are due to material contamination. Material contamination can be consumed by devotional service because in devotional service, these two diseases, namely the desire to lord it over material nature and the desire to become one with the Supreme Lord, are absent. Therefore, the cause of material existence is at once consumed by the careful discharge of devotional service in Krishna consciousness. A devotee in full Krishna consciousness appears superficially to be a great karmi, always working, but the inner significance of the devotee's activities is that they are meant for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. This is called bhakti or devotional service. Arjuna was apparently a fighter, but when his fighting has satisfied by the senses of Lord Krishna, he became a devotee. Since a devotee always also engages in philosophical research to understand the Supreme Person as he is, his activities may thus appear to be like those of mental speculator. But actually, he is trying to understand the spiritual nature and transcendental activities. Thus, although the tendency for philosophical speculation exists, the material effects of fruitive activities and empiric speculation do not, because this activity is meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, we'll go back. Okay, sorry, okay. So, ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। tapta kanchana gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. I seek blessings of all devotees so that I can speak something glorifying Lord for all of your pleasure and for my purification. So, let's see, it's loading. Okay. So today we are in this chapter 27, wherein Devahuti, Mother Devahuti, she had asked Kapila Dev. Okay, 1 second. Okay, it came. Okay. Yeah. So Devahuti, she had asked Kapila Dev that this living entity is such a tightly bound with material nature, how it can get liberated. And in answer to that, Kapila Dev started describing about devotional service. And in last 2 verses, he described how this devotional service should be done. He mentioned, that one can get liberation by seriously discharging devotional service unto me, and thereby hearing for a long time about me or from me, and thus executing one's prescribed duties. Third point, there will be no reaction and one will be freed from contamination of matter. And in yesterday's verse, Prabhu so nicely explained about this devotional service has to be performed strongly, in perfect knowledge and with transcendental vision. One must be strongly renounced and must engage in austerity, perform mystic yoga in order to be firmly fixed in self-absorption. So in today's verse, he continues stating, the influence of material nature has covered the living entity, and thus it is as if the living entity were always in a blazing fire. But by the process of seriously discharging devotional service, this influence can be removed, just as wooden sticks which cause a fire are themselves consumed by it. So we'll discuss 3 points today. First, about how this devotional service should be done. Prabhupada mentions it should be without jnana and is mentioned actually this two causes. He gives 2 diseases. It should be without these 2 diseases. And then we'll discuss about how Prabhupada is mentioned one should be without envy. So how we can understand how we can get rid of envy. And third thing we'll discuss, Prabhupada is mentioning that the second para about philosophical speculation, if it is not for material effects of fruitive activities and empiric speculation, then it is meant for pleasure of Supreme Lord. So that is a little confusing statement. So we'll discuss about that. So first thing about Prabhupada is mentioning about this devotional service should be done seriously, and that should be Prabhupada is mentioning about 2 diseases. One, one wants to be one with the Supreme, or he wants to become the Lord of material nature. So this is the first disease, And then the reason Prabhupada gives is that the living entity's conditional life of material existence is due to his desire to lord it over material nature and due to his envy of the Supreme Lord. So, disease and root cause. See, he said that when somebody gets admitted into the hospital, I was talking with doctor, he said, for us, the biggest thing is to diagnose the disease. Because once we know the disease, we can treat it. Like for example, fever. Fever is there. I remember, Vrunda, when she was like 3 years old, she had very high fever, like 104, 105. So doctor said, you get admitted into hospital. And they did blood work. They could not find out. Then they did some more blood work. They said, we have to put it for some processing, culturing, and we'll come to know in 3 days, what was the root cause. So they were trying to figure out, whether it is typhoid or malaria or, viral infection or what is the cause, dengue, because fever is symptom, but what it is coming from, that is the, root cause the doctor has to figure out, and that's most challenging part, okay. And once that is figured out, it's very easy to treat it, right? So same way here, Prabhupada so beautifully is explaining the root cause of one's, the living entity's conditional life of material existence is due to his desire to lord it over material nature and due to his envy of the Supreme Lord. So the first cause is why we came back from spiritual world, right? Debatable topic from so many, generations. That the common understanding is that, okay, we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna. Everybody is serving Krishna in spiritual world. So Jiva thought, why not me? And then we come here to figure it out, And here we are put with a bunch of other souls who are also trying to see, why not me? Why I have to serve others, So that's what this material nature is. So this root cause Prabhupada is mentioning is envy to the Supreme Lord. This is the first point. Second point, he is telling about that the karmīs try to utilize the resources of material nature and thus become its Lord to enjoy for sense gratification. And the jñānīs, so this is first category, and the jñānīs, the salvationists, who have become frustrated in enjoying the material resources, want to become one with Supreme Personality of Godhead or merge into impersonal effulgence. So he's putting two categories. One, karmīs, who want to enjoy separately, and two, jñānīs. Now in the verse, Kapil Dev is giving example of sticks. Like there are this ahar-niśam sticks, so if you rub it in certain way, fire comes out of it. So when the fire is brought, that fire has capacity to burn even those sticks as well, right? In fire, whatever we put, it will get burned, irrespective of what it is. So same way, here Prabhupada in the purport is mentioning, when we do devotional service, without these two things, karma and jnana, without desire to enjoy separately and without mental speculation, anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma anavrutam anukulena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. Right. So when we do devotional service with that, then what will happen? It will burn what? Our material existence. So, see, envy is such a thing now that the root cause of envy is when we think that what other people have, if I have that, it will make me happy. If somebody has some post, I think if I get that post, I'll be happy. Or somebody has some money or fame or opulence or this 6 opulences. If we think if we get that, then I'll be happy. And because I don't have and then the other person has, we become envious. This is the root cause. So the underlying principle is we think that we'll be happy by getting these external things. And that's why I become envious. But when we think a little bit, we understand that these things of this world don't give us happiness. Rather, what we do with the things we have, that gives us happiness. So I have money will not give me happiness, but what I do with money, if I employ that money in Krishna's service, that will give me happiness. So, very simple example. Suppose there is a big feast, okay, and generally there is a menu, right? Menu card, what is there? This feast is little special, wherein you are asked beforehand, that suppose, Shyamchandra Prabhu, they do this donors dinner, right? So if they circulate an email saying, you tell what you would like to have in the dinner, and then everybody fills in, okay. Somebody says, pasta, pizza, somebody says Indian, paneer, whatever. Now you come on the day, you are seated as per your, seat, and as per your, request that you have put in, you have served the exact menu. You know what will happen? When the servers will start taking plates, people start looking what he has, what she has. Oh, I ordered pizza, but they made also, Chinese. Or like, wow, it looks like, nice Indian cuisine. Wish I should have written that. So now, though a person has what he has requested for, because he is looking in others' plate, he is miserable. Agree? This is a very graphic example. Because I don't look my plate, I look in other plate, and I think, wish I had that particular menu, I would have been happy. So this is root cause of envy. So same way, as per my last life's karma, and as per my last life's desires, I have this body, I am into particular situation, so the menu is served as per my desire. And now I am seeing, hey, that guy is beautiful, that girl is, that guy is handsome, that girl is beautiful, this guy is so rich. Hey, you have asked, and now you are looking at others' plate. Right? So whenever you see a prasadam menu, of course, one good thing is that we have same menu. So then there also actually, that guy got 2 gulab jam, I got only 1. So we have to remember this example and see that this is my plate as per my desire. Let me honor it as Krishna Prasad. Let me engage whatever I have. That will make me happy instead of looking into other plate. So this is the root cause of envy, and how to, understanding will take us, away from this. Now the second point Prabhupada is mentioning about philosophical speculators, that this jñānīs, they do a lot of speculation. Rather the word, muni, somebody is not called muni unless he has his own thesis, basically, right? Muni, So, but devotees also, he's doing that, devotees are doing philosophical speculation. So yesterday I was confused with this, and then I asked Ajita Prabhu. So there is mentioned that devotees do philosophical speculation, try to understand what Krishna is trying to say. But that speculation, because it is the material effects of fruitive activities and empirical speculation do not exist, because that speculation is just to understand Krishna more. Like, for example, this, what was that? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentioned that Krishna had transcendental bodies 24.5 moons, right? He started calculating, he could not figure out. So he said, let me fast until death, because, what Acharya said cannot be wrong, but I am not able to understand. So he was trying to speculate, how it's 24.5, But then, Krishna came and he revealed how it is. So that particular kind of speculation, what is Prabhupada is writing, this is meant for Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore it's pleasing to him. So today we'll see one example that how these Goswamis, they played with the words, but not to, like there are many kavis and many poets, they try to make something, and even this Mayavadi guys, they'll juggling the words, I am the you are the me, and whatnot, for their own, gratification. But here we see that the same language was used by Goswami, especially, Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, to glorify Krishna. So we have some examples here. We'll see that. Let's see. So this is photo of these Goswamis. Okay. So now these verses are from a book called as Chitra Kavitri. Chitra Kavitrani. How many of us have heard or read about it? Okay. Now, these are very special formations wherein Rupa Goswami had used different ways to compose words glorifying Krishna. Like this first verse, it has only two consonants, R and S, and the whole verse is composed with that. It looks pretty, tongue twister, but let's read it. Okay, so. Actually, before we go here, I had like one more point that about this, I'd like to tell two pastime of Prabhupada about this, how this Prabhupada mentions the devotees are not like outside karmīs, right? So Prabhupada, he dealt with so many things like printing books, building buildings, but it was completely Krishna conscious. So once one devotee, this is Gurudas Prabhu, he said, Subal Maharaj was joking with me that I am wanting to preach, but instead of, I am thinking about steel and cement and bricks. This morning walk. And Prabhupada says that, no, if that steel, cement and bricks are meant for preaching, then it is all right. But if there is difficulty, then sometimes we become absorbed in steel, cement. Cement is not bad, provided it is meant for preaching. This is spiritual, Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagita Uchyate. So Prabhupada is saying that, even if you count cement bags, that's like, doing japa, because it's for building temple. Okay. And the second point, like, somebody showed Prabhupada the photo of a yogi, and there was a pile of cash, and, he was doing like this, I don't want to even touch it like that. So Prabhupada said, bring all money, I'll like, embrace it, and you take my photo. He said, why? He said, well, I know how to engage it in Krishna's service. So, and then this famous verse about anasaktasya vishayan yathartham upayujyantaha nirbandhe Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagya uchyate. And then for the first one yogis, that's prapanchitaya buddhya hari sambandhi vastutah mukshubhi parityago phalgu vairagya uchyate. So Prabhupada says that this is material, that is material. I cannot touch money. My hands become polluted by touch money. No. Why? Money is Lakshmi. Lakshmi is to be enjoyed by Narayan. So therefore Lakshmi should be placed in the service of Narayan. So that was Prabhupada's understanding. So that comes in the purport about when Prabhupada is mentioning a devotee in full Krishna consciousness, appears superficially to be a karmi, but his activities are meant for satisfaction of Krishna. So now we go back to the Jnani part, wherein this Goswamis has, very beautifully written these verses. So the first verse, it says, okay, really tongue twisters, okay. Not able to see. Rasasara suraroru asarura sarasarah samsarasir asurase surair samsusarasuraha They said, filled with transcendental amorous desires, the son of Nanda, who showers forth nectar, whose thighs are strong, who is enemy of demons, and who is sword that cuts down the cycle of repeated birth and death, entered the rasa dance holding lotus flower. So he is he's playing with the words, but it's all for service of Krishna, There's another, using only word chara, Chara choruro chiro choro ruchiroram charachare chaura charo chiro chiram urucha charur achururhat. Acting like a thief, the broad-chested son of Nanda, the most handsome person in the world, quickly stole the gopis' garments. He was attractive because of his splendor, and his beauty was enhanced by the sandal pace adoring him. See, first of all, making poetry itself is difficult, and in that he is making something only with two words, cha and ra, and that too describing the pastime about, this Krishna stealing the garments of gopis, right? Isn't it wonderful? Okay. Now wait, okay. This is another one, with dha and ra, this just two words, Dhare dhara, dhare dharadhar, dharam, dhara dharuradhi, dhira 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 araradha, dhirodham radha dhurandharam. It says, beneath Govardhan hill, which was blocking the forceful attack of the devastating clouds, steady-minded Radha worshipped the Supreme Lord, who held up the hill and removed the anguish of his devotees. So he's explaining this, Govardhan pastime using only two words, dha and ra. Ready for next one? Okay. Now he's using only word, that is na. Okay. The whole verse is about, in the using, and na. Okay. Ninunnano nanam nunam nanu nanon nananamuhu nane nanam ninum nenam nanum nananano nanu. Did not the many-headed Lord Brahma, who impels the various demigods, offer prayers with tears streaming down his face, trying to pacify Lord Krishna, the killer of Shakatasur? So, now it may look like some, 3-year-old kid, blabbering something, right? Nunum nanan nunun nanan nunnu. But these are all valid Sanskrit words arranged in a perfect meter to explain a beautiful pastime. So, isn't it speculation? Yes, you are, playing with the words, right? But it's pleasing to Krishna. This is called actually Stavamala, wherein, you are just roaming around Rupa Goswami and, he thinks of Krishna and, writes something. So when jñānīs, they say that, you devotees, you are, sentimentalist, or you don't, understand, show them this. He said, go see your face. What kind of devotees are? So this is, this is what our Acharya has given us. Ready for next one? This is really mind-boggling, okay? Be ready, okay? So this is Dhamma praying. Now this text, this verse is, if you write it in a form, it fits like a spoke of a wheel, So I'll show you that, we'll sing this, see this. It says, Gandha Krushta Gurun Madalini Vane Hara Prabhatil Luptam Sampushtantum Apakskruta Vichi Shriyoranjakam Sadyastungita Vibramam Suni Bhrute Shitani Loir Saukhyade Devam Nagabhujam Sada Rasamayam Tam no Tam Chinmude. You see, now we'll see how this verse is formed. So this ni at the center, you take first three stanzas, that ni is always there. And from first three stanza, you take middle ones. The last four, the fourth stanza things come up. So we'll see its breakdown. So this is the first stanza of that line, Gandha Krishta Gura Nadi Liniva Ne Hara Prabhati Pumam. Actually, one is coming. Then the second, Putam, Then the second line, Sampushnasta Mupakshrita Dhiniyami Vichi Shriyora Jakam. And this third line, I'll come. What had happened? It got stuck. Okay, the third was... okay, yeah. So then this Sadhyastu Gituvi Brahmi Suni Bhrute Shitani Lai Sukhyade. And now see the last line, it starts Devam Nagabhujam Sada Rasamayam Tam Naumikam Chi Mude. Isn't it brilliant? This is what, our acharyas are. Now you go to any jñānīs and you show them this. Now it's not complete yet, okay? Now wheel has a spoke, right, inside. Now if you see from the third letter each, like g, n, kr is there, right? So kr and then sm, sn, right? And then sa, su. So take the third letter from top and then sixth letter, third and sixth letter from top. If we see that, what happens? It tells who has composed this verse and for what. You'll be surprised. Okay. So by the way, okay, this is the translation. We'll see and then we'll go back to translation. You see, Krishna stutira sau rupa virachite. That means Krishna stutira sau rupa virachita. That means this verse has been composed in glorifying Lord Krishna by Rupa Goswami. This is called brilliance. You know, any English scholars or you just show them this single verse actually. They'll take even the supercomputer with AI, they can't compose this. And then see the beautiful meaning. It's not just the formation of words. What it says, in a secluded forest which attracts swarms of maddened bees, with its fragrance which contains many decorated paths, and which gives pleasure with its cool breezes, I always glorify a certain Lord in order to attain spiritual bliss. That rasa-laden Lord, the maintainer of his devotees, is flooded with splendor of many necklaces. His arms are like snakes. He immediately increases the agitation within the heart, and he thinks the luster of the Yamuna waves with the luster of his nails, lips, yellow cloth, necklace, breastplate, and crown. So this is just we saw 5 verses. There is a book called as Stavamala, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written commentary on those verses. It is called Stavamala Bhushana, right? So this is from that. This shows actually that how these devotees use their speculative tendency to glorify Krishna. So to summarize, we saw that devotional service has to be done anyabhilashayata ashunyam jnana karma anavrutam, without jnana and karma. Prabhupada is giving an example of that how how the sticks which cause fire, those sticks can be burned by the fire itself. So same way, when devotional service performed with sincerity and seriously discharging devotional service, then we can get rid of that material bondage. Then we also saw that this tendency to lord over nature is because of envy. Envy is because thinking what others have will satisfy me. But when we understand that the things which we have, how we use it determines what happiness we'll get, then we'll not look for others. And we saw example of that prasadam plate, customized prasadam plate. So always look at our own plate and use it in service of Krishna. And then we saw that how this Prabhupada, he gave 2 examples of how Prabhupada, he said that I can take all the Lakshmi but engage in Krishna's service. And second example was about that devotee cribbing about counting cements and bricks. Prabhupada said it's devotional service because in service of Krishna. And then last we saw that how this philosophical speculation, when devotees they don't do it for their own mental satisfaction but for glorifying Krishna. And we saw a couple of verses from Srila Rupa Goswami showing that brilliance, how he glorifies Lord with a literal ornamentation. So with that, would like to stop. Any questions or comments? Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, you have a question? Okay. Okay, we can discuss later. It's late. Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai.